Kia ora, nau piki mai, nau kake mai ki te whare pāremata o Aotearoa. Kia ora, hello. Welcome to Parliament TV. I'm Maika Te Amo.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Steele. Over the next hour, we'll be taking you on a journey around our wonderful and iconic Parliament here in Wellington.
We'll be showing you how our Parliament works and how easy it is for you to be involved.
And we'll be meeting a number of the people who make this place tick.
So let's kick off with a quick overview of what goes on around here.
Parliament is the supreme legislative power in New Zealand and is made up of two parts. The Sovereign, represented by the Governor-General, whose role is to open and dissolve Parliament at election time, as well as sign off laws once Parliament has passed them. The second part is the House of Representatives, which is made up of about 120 MPs. Parliament has 5 primary functions.
1. To represent the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand.
2. To provide a government.
3. To challenge and hold the government to account.
4. To make laws.
And 5. To approve how taxpayers' money is spent.
The shape of Parliament is determined by an election, which happens usually every 3 years. Kiwis cast 2 votes, one for who they want to represent them locally, and the second for which party they want governing New Zealand.
The party vote determines the number of seats each party gets in Parliament, and the government is formed by the party, or parties, that together hold the majority of seats in the House.
The Prime Minister then appoints MPs from the government party or parties to become ministers. They are given responsibility to oversee areas such as health, police, education and transport.
The government's role is to run the country, propose policy and laws, and decide how taxpayers' money is spent.
The opposition's role is to hold the government to account and provide an alternative government in waiting. They do this through asking questions of ministers, through debates in the House on major issues and legislation, and through the work of select committees.
Overseeing the order and business of Parliament is the Speaker, who acts much like Parliament's chairperson. Party whips or musterers act as party managers, making sure MPs are where they need to be, and they cast votes for their party in the House.
An important role of Parliament is passing new laws and improving or repealing old ones. For a bill to become law, it must go through a rigorous process.
First, the bill is introduced to Parliament for its first reading debate. Then it has a cross-party select committee take a closer look. Select committees are small groups of MPs who work together to do the detailed work of the House. The committee also invites the public to have their say.
The bill is then reported back to the House with any recommended changes and a second reading debate is held. If it survives its second reading vote, MPs will then debate the bill in detail in the Committee of the Whole House. This is the last chance to change the bill.
The bill then goes for its third and final reading. If it passes, it's certified by the Clerk of the House and then sent to the Governor-General for royal assent before becoming New Zealand law.
There are 5 agencies on the parliamentary precinct that contribute to the day-to-day running of New Zealand's Parliament. The first 2, Parliamentary Service and Office of the Clerk, directly serve our Parliament. The Parliamentary Council Office drafts New Zealand's laws. The Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet provide advice and support across the public sector, and Ministerial and Secretariat Services supports the Prime Minister and Executive Government.
The Parliamentary Service provides administrative and support services to Members of Parliament and the House of Representatives. It also manages members' funding entitlements.
The Office of the Clerk supports House and Select Committee proceedings, gives advice on parliamentary law and procedure, and records, publishes and broadcasts the debate from this chamber. We also provide drafting support for members' legislation before it's introduced and for members' amendments to legislation. Along with the Parliamentary Service, the Office of the Clerk plays an important role in educating the public to encourage participation in our democracy.
The Parliamentary Council Office is New Zealand's law drafting and publishing office. We draft government legislation and provide independent advice to ministers and departments on legislative matters. Together, we aim to produce legislation that is fit for purpose, constitutionally sound and accessible to all users.
The Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet advises, coordinates and leads across the public sector, with a particular focus on good governance, good policy and national security. We provide advice and support to the Prime Minister, to the Governor-General and to Cabinet Ministers.
Ministerial Services supports the Prime Minister and Executive Government with a range of services. These include staffing, administrative support, advice on their entitlements and VIP transport services. We also plan and coordinate national commemorative events such as Anzac Day and provide logistical support for official guests of the New Zealand Government.
In summary, these are the 5 agencies that are on the parliamentary precinct and that support the running of New Zealand Parliament. Parliamentary Service, Office of the Clerk, the Parliamentary Council Office, Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet, and Ministerial and Secretariat Services. If you have any further questions or need any other information, everything is available on the official New Zealand Parliament website.
As we've just seen, the Crown is central to our form of democratic government. Here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, the Crown is represented by the Governor-General. Let's meet her now.
Kia ora koutou, ko Jay toku ingoa. Hi there, my name's Jay, and you'll notice today we're not at Parliament. Or are we? Parliament is made up of 2 very distinct parts. The House of Representatives, which is the noisy debating chamber we're all familiar with, and the Sovereign. Now, because the Queen isn't down here in Aotearoa, she appoints a representative to do her job for her. Haere mai ki te wharikawana, koia nei te whiriparimata. Welcome to Government House and to this spotlight on the Governor-General. Now, Dame Patsy Reddy is our current Governor-General, and Dame Patsy, it's a pleasure to be here. But tell me, what is the Governor-General's role with Parliament?
Jay, there's quite a range of things that I do, including signing bills into law, issuing a proclamation to dissolve Parliament before an election, signing the writ to hold an election, appointing government following the election, delivering the speech from the throne, and confirming the House's choice of Speaker.
Wonderful, that's quite a lot that you do. But I hear that, you don't visit Parliament too often, but when you do, there's certain parts of the House that you can't go into.
That's correct. By convention, the Governor-General doesn't enter the debating chamber. So when I deliver the speech from the throne, it's in the Legislative Council chamber. My representative, who's called the Usher of the Black Rod, summons the MPs to come to the chamber to hear the speech.
The job comes with a pretty impressive house and it's stepped in some amazing history. Is there a favourite part of Government House for you?
Yes, I really enjoy walking along this corridor. On either side are the portraits of my predecessors, dating right back from 1840 with this amazing portrait of Governor William Hobson, right through to my most immediate predecessor, Sir Jerry Mataparai. There's an unbroken line of 38 governors and governors-general, and I enjoy thinking about what it was like for each of them.
What do you feel makes the role of Governor-General matter?
Well, we're fortunate to live in a democracy, and although New Zealanders might not think about how that impacts on their lives, continuity and stability are important for everyone's well-being. I'm privileged to play my part in those constitutional arrangements.
Well, there you have it. The Governor-General is a significant kaitiaki of democracy here in Aotearoa. If this has got you interested, you can find more videos on our website, or you can find out more information on Parliament or Government House's websites. Or you could come for a tour here at Government House. Until then,
ka kite anō, and we'll see you again soon.
You know you could, knight me right now?
I'm afraid not, Jay. That's not how it works.
Oh.
The Governor-General may not enter the debating chamber, but there's still plenty of tradition and formality on show.
One of the people you can spot at the start of question time is the Sergeant-at-Arms.
I'm Steve Strefkirk, and I'm the Sergeant-at-Arms in the New Zealand Parliament. In medieval times, the Sergeant-at-Arms was a royal bodyguard, empowered to arrest without warrant. When Richard I went to crusades, he was accompanied by 24 sergeants, each armed with a mace, a large lethal club. The office of Sergeant-at-Arms in Parliament dates back to 1415, when Henry V appointed a sergeant to carry out the orders of the House. The sergeant was empowered to arrest anyone who offended against the House of Commons or obstructed Parliament. Over time, the mace became a symbol of the Speaker's authority. In Parliament today, the Sergeant-at-Arms is an appointed, non-political officer of the House who directly supports the Speaker. Mr. Speaker! The sitting day commences with the Speaker's procession, when the Sergeant-at-Arms will lead the Speaker into the chamber, after which the mace is lowered into the cradle at the end of the Bills table with the crown pointed towards the government. The current mace dates back to 1909. It is made of sterling silver with 18-carat gold gild. It is about 1.5 metres long and weighs just over 8 kilos.
This is Maui Tiki Tiki a Taranga, one of the rooms where the select committees meet.
There are 12 select committees, each with its own chairperson.
Kia ora, my name's Michael Wood and I'm the chairperson of the Finance and Expenditure Committee of Parliament. The Finance and Expenditure Committee, or F&E as we call it, is the committee that oversees the finances of the government and the broader public sector. So we're the committee that, for example, hears from the Governor of the Reserve Bank, the Secretary of the Treasury or the Minister of Finance about important decisions that they make that affect our economy and society. And one of our other really important functions is to hear from members of the public, particularly on legislation that might be going through the House that has a financial impact. So very regularly we have people coming and submitting to us their views around things like tax, their views around the financial sector, their views around aspects of the housing market, all really, really important areas. So I'd really encourage people who have got an interest in those areas to come and submit to the committee when legislation comes forward. We're always keen to get public input to make sure that we've got good information before we make decisions and recommendations. Come and see us anytime.
We'll meet some more committee chairpersons soon. If you think Parliament looks complicated and a bit daunting, don't worry.
In fact, the whole select committee system is set up to encourage as many members of the public as possible to get involved. Let's take a look at the many ways you can have your say at Parliament.
Democracy works best when everyone has a voice. And luckily for us, there are a number of ways we can have our voice heard. In Aotearoa, we have a general election every 3 years to choose our members of Parliament. Voting in these elections lets you have your say on the people and parties that represent you. But what if you want to have input in between elections, or if you're under 18? Protest is part of our culture of free speech, and one way to let the public and politicians know your concerns. But Wellington can be windy, so here are 3 other great ways to get involved. 1. Get in touch with your local MP. They represent your views and concerns in Parliament and have an important role in your community. Decisions they make affect you and every New Zealander, so let them know what you think. 2. Another way to have your voice heard is to make a submission to a select committee. Select committees are like the engine room of Parliament. They look into the details of petitions, proposed laws, international treaties and more so that Parliament can make fully informed decisions. Public involvement is a vital part of the process, and making a submission lets select committees know what you think about these important issues. 3. If you want to raise something that isn't being considered by Parliament, then you can start your own petition or sign an existing one. Petitions are addressed directly to the House of Representatives and are a great way to engage people in your community about an issue that's important to you. Having your say in the decisions that shape our country helps make our democracy stronger. Make your voice heard and get involved now.
Hi, I'm Simon O'Connor and I'm the Chair of the Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade Select Committee here in Parliament. As the name suggests, we look at everything from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so think of diplomatic relations, all the way through to trade issues between us and different countries. And of course the defence side, we look at the New Zealand Defence Force, and we also touch into areas about customs as well, including also very small areas like Antarctica, New Zealand as well. So a really wide-ranging and fascinating committee, and I really encourage you to get involved with the process if you have an interest in any of those topics.
Let's now take a closer look at what to expect if you choose to make a submission in person to a select committee.
Kia ora, my name is Jim. I'm part of the security team here. Welcome to Parliament. I understand you're going to a select committee meeting today. As part of our process, we ask that you pass through our screening area, placing your items into the box provided, and when you clear the metal detector, you'll be able to uplift your items. Kia pai tō rā. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm part of the security team here at Parliament. We ask that you please wear one of these stickers so that we recognise why you are here today. If you take a look at the board, it'll tell you which committee is in which room. Now you may walk on down the corridor and wait outside your room.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Bonner, Clerk of Committee here at Parliament. It's awesome to see you here. It means that you're here today to present to the committee. If you look behind me, you'll see a screen, and that will tell you whether or not the committee is open or closed to the public. If it's closed, just wait outside and one of our committee staff will be outside to let you know when you can come in. If it's open, come on in and sit at the back. We'll see you inside.
Kia ora, I'm David Wilson, Clerk of the House of Representatives. Welcome to the room where you'll be speaking to a select committee. Shortly, the chairperson will invite you forward to speak to the members of the committee. Please don't feel nervous. Everyone here is really interested in what you've got to say. If you have any questions, please visit the Parliament website and then get in touch. From everyone here in Parliament, we look forward to seeing you here soon.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Rino Tiri Kātene ahau. Ko hau te mema pāremata mo te taitonga. I roto i te whare pāremata, ko hau te hea mana o te komiti whiriwhiri mō ngā take Māori. Ko te kaupapa o tēnei komiti, he whiriwhiri i ngā take Māori ka haria mai ki mua ki te pāremata. Nō reira, e aku rangatira e ngā mātā waka, nau mai, whakatau mai ki te komiti take Māori o te whare pāremata, mauria mai ngā kaupapa me ngā take Māori mā tātou hei wete wete. Kia ora, my name is Rino Tiri Kātene. I'm the MP for Te Taitonga and the Chair of the Māori Affairs Select Committee. Our work is to inquire into matters pertaining to Māori which may be brought before the House. We do a lot of work in the 52nd Parliament with treaty settlements, and I encourage you all to, if you take an interest in that, to come and make some submissions before us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Kia ora tātou.
Select committees are open and available to all New Zealanders, and it seems more and more are taking advantage of the opportunity, regardless of their age or their background.
Now we're off to meet some young Kiwis who had their voices heard by a select committee.
Kia ora koutou, nā mai haere mai ki te Parimata Aotearoa, ko Jay tōku ingoa. Hi there and welcome to Parliament. My name's Jay, and we're here in front of one of our select committee rooms in the parliamentary precinct. The select committee process is a really important part of democracy here in New Zealand. We want to shine a spotlight on the fact that anyone can get involved and have their say in legislation in front of a committee, and today we're going to meet with three very special young people who have just presented to the Government Administration Committee. The first two are Annabelle and Alexandra. Could you tell us, Annabelle, we'll start with you, why you think young people and children should be involved in Parliament?
I feel like children should be involved because I feel like it's really important that children get to say what they think.
How did you find presenting to the committee today?
I felt nervous at the start, but once I'd started talking, I felt better.
Awesome.
It's kind of like when you first put your hand in the pool and you go, it's freezing, but then you get some feedback from people going, it's fine, you'll be fine once you'll get in, and at that time it means absolutely nothing, but when you actually get in, you actually do warm up. It's kind of like that.
So we are now here with Louis. Louis has also just presented to the Government Administration Committee on their inquiry into captioning. And why do you think young people and children should get more involved in Parliament?
Because they need to hear their thoughts with the government.
Absolutely. And do you feel like they listened to you today?
Yes, I felt like they listened to me very strongly.
Wonderful. And you felt welcome and you felt...
Yep, I felt welcome.
Wonderful. A huge thank you to Annabelle, Alexandra and Louis for taking the time to come and submit to Parliament today and for sitting down with us to talk about their experiences.
Kia ora, I'm Louisa Wall. I'm the chair of the Health Select Committee. The Health Select Committee looks at all issues related to the provision of health and disability services in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Our job is to scrutinise the performance of our district health boards, our Ministry of Health and other Crown entities such as Pharmac, the Health Research Council, just to name a few. So if you're interested in the health area, the bills that are relevant to legislative reform will come to our Health Select Committee. So I encourage you to keep abreast of the types of issues that are before us. Currently we have a bill about fluoridation. Also we've been notified that we will receive a bill about medicinal cannabis. I believe these topics are highly relevant and provide a really good opportunity for the community to have their say. So please make submissions, come and see us. We'd love to hear from you. Kia ora.
So now we've met a few select committee chairs, let's have a closer look at how the committees work.
When Parliament meets, they make decisions that affect you and all of New Zealand. Having an in-depth conversation with a group of people can be difficult, but what about with 120 people? Impossible. That's where select committees come in. Select committees are a small group of MPs from different parties who work together to look at issues in detail. There are a number of committees, each focusing on different areas that affect you, like health, education, o ngā take Māori. Petitions, proposed new laws, and changes to old ones are just a few of the things committees look at. So they can make informed decisions, committees often ask for your thoughts by calling for submissions. Submitting gives you a chance to have your say and helps MPs understand how a law change could affect you and other New Zealanders. They're interested in opinions and ideas from anyone. You can make a submission electronically on our website, or the old-fashioned way. You might also speak to the committee in person. Your submissions help inform what they report back to Parliament. Democracy works best when everyone has a voice. If you want to find out more about select committees or have a look at what's open for submissions, check out our website, parliament.nz.
Hi, I'm David Bennett. I'm the chair of the Primary Production Select Committee. The committee focuses on New Zealand's agriculture, horticulture and rural communities. And we've got some really interesting stuff going on at the moment. First of all, we've got the Racing Amendment Bill, a new bill which enables the racing industry to actually get some return on bets made overseas or New Zealanders betting. That's really a new initiative that's going to help the industry, and so we're going through the submission process around that bill. We're looking at doing some more work around irrigation and honey, especially with the drought-like conditions through New Zealand. The irrigation issue will be a major one for many farming communities. And also honey's a large industry that's grown over many years, and There are some teething issues that you get in any new industry, and the Select Committee will be doing an inquiry into that. So there's plenty going on in the Select Committee. We've got a range of members across Labour, New Zealand First and National, all across the country, and it's a great committee that works together very well. So feel free to come to our committee, bring any petitions and inquiries and any questions and correspondence, and we look forward to working with you to try and get the best results for our primary producers and our rural communities. Thank you.
One of the great things about our Parliament is how open it is to the public. On any sitting day, you can just turn up and take your seat up in the public gallery. But remember, it's first come, first served. You're also invited to Parliament on special days and occasions.
It's nice to have it through open doors and stuff like that. It's not like behind closed doors, so it's like it's our house, it's your house, it's everyone's.
Actually seeing it in the inside. It's big. It's really big. It's huge. The tour. I like the tour.
There is specific rooms for specific things.
The education room. It's a good place to learn things.
The committee room was all done in carvings.
I'm looking forward to filling out this whole parcel. When we've been to the place, we put the stickers on the circles.
Filling in my notebook and looking at all of the rooms, they had a lot of amazing stuff in it.
I'm not sure.
Probably just ask other people for advice.
Affordable housing.
Yeah.
Fixed child poverty.
No smoking. Play. You don't have to do anything, you just play on your phone.
Help homeless people, like with houses and food.
I would sit in my chair and go to the places in New Zealand.
Rearrange the rules. Probably go for a professional massage.
I would make sure that more families like my family have more support, and like my little sister, because she's got fragile bones and we need more support for people like this. Kids should have to go through all their years of college. I would probably go around Wellington and giving food to the homeless people. I would make houses, rainbow houses.
Disability issues are great things since I have a disability, and I would like to work through with disability commissioners and perhaps make a ministry of disability.
I'd probably let it be just Kids Day again, and I'd stand so I could have a chat to some kids.
You can be Prime Minister if you just work really hard.
I think everyone should know that it's an inclusive place where you can go, and you might even be interested in politics and you don't even know, like me.
I didn't know that we're allowed to come here anytime for free. It's a really fun place.
That you can come in any time you want, because other people kind of think that it's a shut-off place for like just the Prime Minister and the MPs.
It's a cool place to have a picnic, and then they'll go on the tour, and then they'll be like, oh, this is really
Bring your
cool place.
family and have fun with the tour. I kind of like everything.
This has been a terrific day. This is a day where the theme of our house is your house has really caught on. And it's great to see children showing genuine interest about how our country works. I mean, one child was asking, has there been any laws that children suggested? It's all about putting our children first on Children's Day.
G'day, Alistair Scott's my name. I'm the Deputy Chair of the Transport and Infrastructure Select Committee. Sounds like a complicated and complex sort of committee, but it's not. We are the Select Committee that involves ourselves with transport and infrastructure. Infrastructure like wastewater management, roading, rail, ports, telecommunications. Anything that public or legislation that might involve those subjects, we listen to those submitters and legislators. For example, how about dealing with drones? Drones are very interesting. How should we deal with drones in our airspace? So that's been an inquiry that's come through the Select Committee. Should there be more trains on a particular route in a particular place? That's come through the Select Committee. Listening to ministers and making ministers account for themselves is a very important part of the Select Committee. And the public can be involved with all of those things. So I encourage people to create their own petition if they have something to say about an issue. We want to hear from you. We encourage people to submit. We encourage people to put petitions in, and it is important that the general public of New Zealand participate in the process, because that's how we make a better New Zealand.
Don't forget, you don't have to appear in person to make a submission. You can also do it online.
The decisions Parliament makes affect all New Zealanders. Select committees often call for submissions to get public input on proposed laws and other items of business. Select committees use this feedback to help inform Parliament's decision-making process, and you can make a submission really easily through Parliament's website. To start, head online to www.parliament.nz. Open up the tab labelled Get Involved. From there, you'll see a drop-down saying Make a Submission. This page brings up a list of all the current bills and items of business that you can submit on. You can click on any of these to learn more about it. The first step is to tell Parliament how you're submitting. We need to know if you're submitting as an individual or on behalf of an organisation. This is also where you tell us if you want to make an oral submission to the committee, which means speaking to the committee in person about your submission. On the next screen, you'll be asked to enter your contact details. Your name will be published on the Parliament website, but the rest of your details will stay private. Step 2, make your submission. You can upload it as a file, or you can write it directly into the online form. What you say in your submission is up to you, but remember that the content of your submission, along with your name, will be published on the Parliament website, so you might want to leave out any sensitive information or private contact details. Step 3, check over what you've put into the online submission form. If there's anything you want to change, you can use the edit buttons. Once you've confirmed you've read the privacy statement, click or tap the submit button. When you see this confirmation screen, you're all done. You can also email or post your submission to us. You can write your submission in English or Te Reo Māori. If you prefer, you can make a video in New Zealand Sign Language. To do this, send us a recording of your submission by mail, or upload your video to the internet and send us the link with your submission. No matter what kind of submission you send us, remember to tell us who you are and give us your contact details. Keep your personal details separate from the main part of your submission. And don't forget to tell us if you want to speak to the committee in person. For more information, check out the links in this video's description to get started. Democracy works best when everyone has a voice, so head to www.parliament.nz to have your say. Thanks for watching.
Kia ora, na mihi nui kia koutou kia ora. I'm Green MP Gareth Hughes and I'm the chairperson of the Social Services and Community Select Committee. The work of this committee deals with social housing, social development, income support, women, children, young people, seniors, Pacific peoples, ethnic communities, the arts sector and heritage, sport and the voluntary sector. We've got a lot of business. Some of the legislation coming up is the Child Poverty Reduction Bill, the Social Workers Registration Bill, and we'd love to hear from you.
The bills that go before the Select Committee are, by and large, those being proposed by the government of the day.
But with a little bit of luck, any Member of Parliament can initiate new legislation.
Hello, I'm James Picker. Welcome to the Table Office here at Parliament. The majority of legislation that goes through the House is government legislation. But what if you're not a government minister? How do you go about changing the law? Well, that's where the Members' Bill ballot comes in. Members' Day is held every second Wednesday, and that's where members' legislation is debated. There's space on the order paper for 8 members' bills, and when there's a gap, we hold a members' bill ballot. What does that mean? Well, here in the Table Office, we have a biscuit tin that we bought in the 80s. Members who aren't ministers propose legislation. Each of them is allocated a numbered token. We put those numbered tokens in the biscuit tin, we give it a good shake, and we ask a non-political staff member from somewhere here on the precinct to choose the number of tokens we need to fill those spaces.
Number 19.
19, Electoral Registration by Special Vote, Amendment Bill, Meka Whaitiri.
Once the bills are drawn, they're announced in the House by the Clerk of the House at 2 o'clock. They're available on the Parliament website, through social media and the New Zealand legislation website, so you can see what it is members are proposing to change. Some significant law changes that you may well have heard of have come from the Members' Bill ballot. Prostitution reform, same-sex marriage and allowing bars to open for the Rugby World Cup. The Members' Bill ballot gives MPs who aren't ministers the opportunity to try to change the law, and the biscuit tin is that little bit of Kiwi ingenuity. If you're interested in finding out what else happens around here at Parliament, maybe check out the Parliament website and view some of our other videos. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Young. I chair the Economic Development, Science and Innovation Committee. We are very proud of our committee. We believe that it's the most interesting and we are the hardest working. We deal with all sorts of subject matters around tourism, around innovation, around the electricity sector. We deal with broadcasting, employment, all the things that make our community and our society tick. And we hope that you will look through the parliamentary website and discover more about us. We invite the public to submit and participate in the formation of laws, and the day might come when you turn up and we meet you face to face. We'd really welcome that.
Think Parliament generates a lot of unwieldy paperwork? You'll be relieved to know that one of our colleagues is called the Papers Officer.
Kia ora, haere mai ki te parimata, ara ki te tīwhiri parimata, ko Jay toku ingoa. Ka wānanga ngā mema parimata I ngā pire, I ngā petihana, I ngā pūrongo, te nui hoki o ngā mea. I te rā nei, e whakaaho ana tātou I te tīwhiri ki te honga e whakahaere ana, e whakawhiwhi ana I ēnei pepa katoa. Ka titiro tātou ki te tari o ngā pire. Ke kone tātou me Paula, he apia parimata mō ngā pepa, Paula ke te parimata. Nā Paula, ko te pātai nui, he aha te mahi o te tari ngā pire.
Ai, ko te tari o ngā pire, ko te pokapu toha mō ngā tāngā, e whakarato ana I ngā mema me ngā kaimahi. Ko ta haina mātou ko ngā pire, ko ngā pepa āpiti pire, ko ngā pepa ka whakatākotoria, ko ngā pūrongo hoki a ngā komiti whiriwhiri, ka whakahaere te nōhanga mema ki te whare, ka whakatākoto I ngā pire o te wā ki te tepu o te whare, ka tāhoki I ngā whakautu ki ngā pātai tuhi.
Kei te tari o ngā piri he tanga o ngā piri koutou?
Ai, kei konei, kei roto I te ngā haupu nei.
Ka taia e tātou te titiro?
Koe rā, engari me whakahuaki I te tuatahi. Ka pupuri mātou I ngā tāngā pepa mō te rematau, ka tahi ēnei ka whiu atu. Ka whakararangitia ngā pire mā te nama o te pire, ka we mā te ingoa. Ko ngā kākariki nei, ko ngā pire ka whakamanatia I tēnei nōhanga o te pāremata. He paua ka pire tā ia mima.
He oi anō, he tino whakawhetai ki a koe Paula, mō te whakaatu mai I te tari o ngā pire. I tēnei rā, ngā mihi nui anō.
E pai ana, Jay.
E hara I te mea he whare noa iho te parimata, engari ko ona tangata tonu ka ata whakahaere ia. E whakapaparona ki nei I tō tātou manapori. Ka taia ngā pepa a te tari o ngā piri, te tiro I tā mātou paitukutuku. Me e tahi ata, whakamarama pēnei I tēnei. Kia tai ki te wā, ka ki te anō ki a koe.
Kia ora, this is Raymond Hall. I'm the chair of the Justice Committee. The current Justice Committee is 2-in-1, a combination of two committees, the Justice and Electoral Committee and the Law and Order Committee, merged from the last Parliament. We have a number of bills before the committee, from largely technically driven ones such as Court Matters Bill, Legislation Bill and Trusts Bill, to socially challenging ones like the End of Life Choice Bill, namely the Euthanasia Bill. The Court Matters Bill deals with matters relating to our courts and tribunals, and the Legislation Bill will create a new unified category of secondary legislation including regulations, rules, notices and orders that will be published on the New Zealand legislation website. At the moment, it is difficult to find secondary legislation even for lawyers and other professionals. We have established a subcommittee to consider specifically the Trusts Bill. We have invited the Honourable Christopher Finlayson QC and Dr. Duncan Webb to join us. Isn't that wonderful for us to have a QC from National and a law professor from Labour to have joined the subcommittee? The euthanasia bill is likely to become the most significant and controversial bill that this committee and indeed this Parliament will consider. We have so far processed more than 34,000 submissions with thousands more yet to be processed. This is already the highest number of submissions a select committee has received in recent parliamentary terms. As well as considering bills, petitions, annual reviews and estimates, the Justice Committee can also initiate inquiries into subjects such as constitutional and electoral matters, courts, police, corrections, and Crown legal services, etc. Thank you.
Not all the important work at Parliament happens inside. Let's have a look up on the roof of the Beehive.
Kia ora koutou, nau mai haere mai ki te parimata Aotearoa, ko Jay toku ingoa. Hi there and welcome to Parliament, my name's Jay. And today we're going to focus on something a little more decorative here at Parliament, something that gets battered and bruised and knocked about in the Wellington wind a bit. We're talking about flags. Now you might see them often on the forecourt, but there's one in particular that doesn't get a lot of attention and a lot of love. We're talking about the one on top of the executive wing, the Beehive flag. Let's head up. So we're up here on the Beehive roof with Nick. Nick is the service supervisor here at Parliament. Nick, why are we up here today?
Today we're going to do some maintenance on the third biggest flag in New Zealand, which is flying at the moment. What we do is we check it every day just for rips and tears because it stays up all the time. This is a specialist flag. It's made here in Wellington as well, and it's 2.7 metres by 5.4 metres. So it's like a big sail, to be honest. It's quite a privilege really being up here and changing the flag. So, and it's a perfect view which not many people get to have up here. So yeah, it is good. So now we're going to lower the flag, but there's a bit of a breeze around, so make sure you grab it as soon as you can get hold of it.
Yep.
And we'll lower it as quick as we can. And yeah, your job is to catch it without letting it touch the floor.
No pressure.
Criminal offence for doing that. Right then. There we go, that's the flag lowered. So we're just checking what condition it's in. At the moment it's just slightly frayed at the end, but that'll still last a good few weeks on that one. So, yep. We've put a label on here now.
Yeah.
Too short, unrepairable. So once this flag has destroyed itself, that's the end of it. It gets disposed of.
It's not as heavy as I thought.
No.
Really light, and you feel a little bit proud holding the flag that's on the Beehive. Yeah.
So now we're going to launch the flag. So you, when you pull this down, I'll sort the rope out the other end. So, but make sure you don't let it touch the ground.
So if that wasn't the coolest thing you've seen all day, then you've probably seen some pretty great things, because that was awesome. If you want to find out more, check out Parliament's website or watch a few more of our videos. Remember, flags are the world's way of expressing itself. So keep an eye on Parliament's forecourt, because you never know quite what you're going to see, whether it's a flag of a foreign country or of a significant community. Until then, ka kite anō, and we'll see you again soon.
Hello, I'm Brett Hudson. National Party List MP based in Oharu and chairperson of the Governance and Administration Select Committee. Our Select Committee deals with a very broad range of government agencies and entities. These range from parliamentary and legislative services, the State Services Commission, Internal Affairs, Statistics, and for this term, for the first time, local government. And one of the best parts of the role is hearing from New Zealanders about what they think about the matters that are before Parliament and before our committee. So I encourage you to take the opportunity to get involved, to make submissions, and to appear before us to give us your input on the business that we work through. We'd love to hear from you.
Wellington isn't only subjected to strong winds, Parliament is also situated on a major fault line.
And, as we've seen in recent years, earthquakes in New Zealand can do a lot of damage.
The purpose of business continuity is to ensure that we're able to deliver our critical services to our key customers or stakeholders, and in the case of the office, that's obviously the members of Parliament. In the event the main debating chamber and Parliament House are unavailable, we've come up with a plan to convert Select Committee Rooms 1 and 2 into an alternative chamber. To ensure that our people know how to set this up, we run an annual exercise that makes sure that the institutional corporate knowledge remains available. Normally we're able to achieve the setup in around 90 minutes from the time we get access to the committee rooms. Today we've achieved that and well under that, so it just shows that the exercise is valuable and that we're well prepared to support a sitting of the House should we have any disruption affecting our ability to meet in Parliament House.
Instead of individual microphones for each member, we've got 3 podiums, so the member would get the call and would go up to the podium. We'll check the connectivity over the summer break to make sure that all the feeds go through to Radio New Zealand and through to Parliament TV so that we can broadcast to the world.
Being at Parliament isn't all work and no play. Over in the banquet hall, we regularly welcome foreign dignitaries, farewell sports teams, and launch important books.
We also hold highly entertaining debates.
All of you, welcome to the banquet hall, welcome to the New Zealand Parliament. It is a great privilege for me to be part of this debate, which could be serious, but equally could be fun. We'll see how it develops over the night. I wanted just to acknowledge the work of Hansard in my time as a Member of Parliament. I see them now sitting in front of me through question time and the concentration with which they operate as they accurately record what takes place in the House. So I just take that opportunity of thanking them for the work that they do.
I want to give you some idea, some background to the sort of high-intensity consultation. First email received just 3 days ago, and good on you for kicking things off, Jacinda. This was great.
A transcript, as faithful as it is only as true as what's said by the people.
Point of order, David Seymour.
The negative team members look a bit upset their leader didn't bother introducing them.
Reality and truth is no longer mundane. The election of Donald Trump now means that the entire globe is drawn into some kind of 24/7 declined, sit down, declined. The election of Donald Trump declined, sit down. Keep writing your speech, please.
And the thing is, what's wrong with a bit of alternative facts? I mean, if I turn round and I say to my husband, does my bum look big in this? What is the correct answer?
Well, I thought it was a great night. You know, let's face it, we're celebrating 150th anniversary of Hansard. That in itself is something we should celebrate.
To highlight what is written allows us to question, and in the interest of democracy, that's cool.
I thought the comment about social media and the fact that we kind of have algorithms that dictate what we hear and we only enjoy hearing people with the same view was really interesting.
I'm so thrilled that Hansard had an opportunity to invite the public into our workplace, so to speak, to help us celebrate our big 150th.
That debate in 2017 was held to mark the 150th anniversary of writing and recording parliamentary debates by Hansard.
These records are named after the Englishman Thomas Hansard, who started recording the debates in the British Parliament for his newspaper around 200 years ago. Let's go and say hi to our Hansard team.
Did you know that this year we're celebrating the 150th anniversary of Hansard? Chances are you might not know what Hansard is. That's all right. About 2/3 of Kiwis don't. With the help of the team here though, we're going to share our 5 favourite facts about Hansard.
Favourite Hansard fact number 1. New Zealand's Hansard has been running for 150 years. That means our independent and official record of debates has been running for longer than Westminster's.
Favourite Hansard fact number 2. Historically, Hansard reporters had to sit the New Zealand shorthand exam, which means that they had to be able to write 190 words per minute.
Favourite Hansard fact number 3. In 1867, when Hansard started, it was all men. That all changed in 1962, when the first 2 women reporters joined the team. By the 70s, it was all women. But now, we have a mix of both.
Favourite Hansard fact number 4. In July 2017, the New Zealand Hansard will publish its 723rd volume. Placed end to end, they would measure about 180 metres. That's roughly 2 soccer fields.
Favourite Hansard fact number 5. From this July, the entire Hansard library will be available online. That's huge.
I guess you could say that our Hansard records are kind of like a time machine. We invite you to check out our website, see what's on for the celebrations, and maybe let us know what Hansard means to you. From all the team here at Parliament, happy birthday, Hansard!
Hi, my name is Panjit Palmer. I'm the National List Member of Parliament based in Mount Roskill. I'm also the chair of the Parliamentary Education and Workforce Select Committee. We work on legislations that relate to education, that is primary, secondary and tertiary, and in workforce it's industrial relations, immigration, ACC and other related matters. We have a huge work program. I suggest you go on our website and see if you're interested in any of these legislations. Parliamentary Select Committees are like the engine room behind the scenes working on legislations before the House. So this is your opportunity in the Select Committee process to have your say. So if you're interested in any of these areas that we are working on, please get in touch, as we would love to hear from you.
The Parliamentary Debating Chamber is not restricted to our parliamentarians. From time to time, other groups have been welcomed into the House to conduct important business of their own.
One such group is the Pacific Parliamentary Forum.
The Pacific Parliamentary Forum brought delegates from a number of Pacific nations together in New Zealand in the interests of forging deeper international ties. In 4 special debates, visiting parliamentarians discuss key issues like climate change, Pacific resources, security and governance, and Parliament and the community. Before the close of the forum, members agreed on an outcome statement with a number of recommendations to recognise the strength of a united Pacific for regional development and global advocacy, to ensure sustainability of Pacific resources, to work towards greater gender balance in leadership and parliaments, to work constructively with international parliamentary organisations, and to hold more Pacific parliamentary forums in the future.
And while the Pacific Parliamentary Forum was here back in 2017, they took the opportunity to commemorate a special visit made here way back in 1915.
We just want to welcome you to the reenactment ceremony that we had over here in Parliament. In 1915, on the 7th of October, 45 Cook Island soldiers came here. It was the symbolism of that commitment and that sacrifice where they were commissioned from Parliament. We had a ceremony that reenacted it over 100 years ago. We had people who were part of that heritage. We had a son whose father was here. We had a great-grandson of the commissioning of Tau Henare, Pena Henare, who was here as well. And in that moment, they shared the same sentiments of sacrifice, of service to Queen and for country, and ensure that they can make a difference. So today's been a great celebration to reflect, to think on those things, to remember what they achieved in that moment in time. Ki rana e ki manui.
Hello, my name is Deborah Russell and I'm the chair of the Environment Select Committee. As you might imagine, the Environment Select Committee has roles to do with conservation, with environment and with climate change. So in all those areas, we examine legislation, we work on making it better, and then we report back to Parliament about whether or not any legislation is good or whether it needs to be changed. We also hear petitions. We've heard lots of petitions about plastic bags and saving the environment and all those sorts of things. And it's a key way that people communicate with Parliament. So if there's something in the environment that worries you, put together a petition and we'll listen to it. Another thing we do is examine the accounts of the government. So especially for the Department of Conservation and the Ministry for the Environment and some entities like the Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment. We examine how they spent their money and how they plan to spend their money. It's one of those critical roles. So we're always keen to hear from people. It's great to have people coming along to select committee meetings and listening into what's going on. And after all, if you're concerned about something that you want changed, one of the best ways to do it is to write to us and see what can be done. Ka kite anō, hope to hear from you sometime soon.
As you can see, New Zealand Parliament is something that belongs to all of us, and it's a welcoming place for people from around the world.
And 150 years on from the beginning of the written Hansard records, we're also very proud of moving our debates into the digital era.
Kia ora, I'm Raf, Deputy Clerk of the House of Representatives, and I'm standing here in Wellington at the Parliament TV studios. Parliament TV was born on July 17, 2007, and since then it has broadcast around 840 hours of footage every year, and we want to make sure that it's accessible to every Kiwi across the country. Parliament TV gives you the opportunity to be at the centre of action in the debating chamber here in Wellington. Seeing the people that you may have voted for in action is a really important part of our democracy. We've broadcast some memorable moments over the last 10 years.
Definition of Marriage Amendment Bill, third reading.
So, Mr. Speaker, we're just going to finish up with a bit of a song.
Santa baby, camping contributions under the tree. It's been an awful long year.
It's been a privilege and an honour to be a member of this House for 27 years and Prime Minister for 9 years. And I do wish New Zealanders well for what are undoubtedly challenging times ahead. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, yesterday was indeed one of New Zealand's darkest days. It's hard to believe that this Parliament is again assembling to mark another tragedy. Although the scale and severity of this second Christchurch earthquake is so far beyond our experience that only the pictures can capture the horrendous scale and impact of the disaster.
Tune in to Parliament TV every time the House is sitting if you want to see live democracy in action. However, if you prefer online, check out Parliament's website or the YouTube channel. There you will find 10 years worth of recordings. From me and everybody here in Parliament, happy birthday, Parliament TV.
Thank you for joining us on this top-to-bottom tour of Parliament.
All of the short films we've shown you are available to watch on our website at www.parliament.nz.
We're adding new stories to the website all the time. And remember, there's nothing like the real thing. Come and visit us. You can also follow us on social media. Follow us on Twitter and like our Facebook page so you can keep up to date.
Take a tour of Parliament, observe a debate, make a submission or present a petition. Anyone can do it.
In 2015, a group of Otorahanga College students presented their petition calling for a national day of commemoration for the New Zealand wars fought in the 19th century.
And in 2016, many school children supported the petition calling for the government to fully adopt a range of recommendations on equal pay.
The New Zealand Parliament is yours, and it's where your MPs create new laws and amend old ones that will impact the lives of you, your families and your neighbours.
We look forward to seeing you soon. Hai kona mai.